Gianno Caldwell joins us. You know his tragic story of his brother losing Christian 2 years ago, back in 2022. But Gianno has devoted his life not only to finding the people behind that, but also trying to help other people from ever having to deal with that. He'll be testifying at that Ways and Means Work and Welfare Subcommittee field hearing in Chicago on this very issue. It's going to take up the issue of dignity of work and how that can avoid some of the same problems that bedevil not only Chicago, but a host of other cities across the country. Gianno, very good having you. What do you make of this? The crime situation not getting better. If anything, it's getting worse.
You know, Neil, it really upsets me every time I hear the sound from AG Garland saying, oh, the Biden administration policies are reducing crime across the country. We know that that is an absolute lie from the Attorney General. And as someone who's had to deal with this issue, it'll be almost 2 years since my brother was murdered, June 24th, 2022. And having known that in the city of Chicago, just in March, there was a 28% increase in homicides, tying almost, number 2 for the most homicides in any given month over the last decade. When you look at the fact that arrests have declined by 33% since 2013. When you think about the fact that just last month, in March, there was 190 people shot. This is insanity on steroids. There's no other way to look at it. And the fact that people like my brother, innocent kids, who are being murdered throughout the city of Chicago every year, and they're coming up during an election year to say, hey, we're doing something about it, when the Biden administration said, there's no crime crisis in America. There's nothing going on. There's nothing to see here. Now when they see the polling showing that, hey, this can have an impact on your reelection, all of a sudden they become interested in this issue. People like my family and other victims across the country are upset with the inaction that we've seen from the administration and our local elected officials who have unfortunately made things worse with their tragedy of policy, like the Safety Act, for example, in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, which creates a cashless bail reality for the entire state. We're upset, we're fed up, and we need to see changes. And I think that change starts at the top at the White House.
Well, it's not happening yet, particularly in the city where they just seem to, prosecutors and mayors come and go, but the same crime. And I'm thinking, you know, Chicago is going to be hosting the Democratic National Convention this summer. Not the most ideal or promising of backdrops. What do you think of that?
Well, I know that they're going to do everything they can to try to lock it down and they secure it as much as possible, keep people away, because they know there's going to be a number of variables. One, you have the everyday crime that exists in Chicago, where you can be across the street from City Hall and there be a shootout. I'm talking City Hall. This is something that you would never expect in a city like this, but this is what's going on. So they're going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to deal with the protesters on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, or Hamas, I should say. They're going to have to deal with a number of things. But the truth of the matter is, the facts are the facts. If people are living with this, their everyday lives in Chicago, no matter if it's the South Sides, West Sides, or the downtown areas that aren't historically known for violence, it has taken over the city, and we have a lot of politicians to unfortunately blame for that. But that's the reality that we live in. And until there's someone who's willing to come in and say, look, we're going to throw the book at these folks who are committing these crimes. We're not going to be soft on crime. Until someone's willing to stand up and say that. Until we have a White House who's saying, look, we're going to get the DOJ involved in a lot of these local crimes. We're going to get the FBI to help in places like Chicago, where they're down 2,000 detectives for the current murder workload, or any other jurisdiction for that matter, who are all down in terms of police officers being able to handle this caseload. Until we get strong leaders like that, we're going to be stuck in this position and reporting on this every week, unfortunately.
You're amazing, Gianno. And with all you've been through, we remember Christian very fondly and how close the two of you were as you try to find out who killed him. Gianno Caldwell, remembering his brother and trying to make sure that none of this happens to anyone, anywhere else. But it does. It still does. More after this.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.